All right, guys, this is the back nine of Searight. It is Friday, the 17th of June, and there are no pictures on the scorecard. So the 10th hole out here at Searight is a tricky one for me because I predominantly play forehand. Normally what I try to do is try to take something kind of high up over these trees on an ante and just let it kind of stable up. There's a bushy tree up there that I slide up around a lot of times. I'm feeling good about my backhand today, so I think I'm going to try the backhand, to try the low backhand to get under these little limbs right here and slide out into the opening that's behind these trees. So let's see what happens. I have a mint disc jackalope here that I'm throwing on the backhand. I really like this disc for my backhand throws, but this throw, I could have thrown this either higher or lower and it would have been better. I ended up clipping those trees there. Well, I guess my good feeling about my backhand is belied by the fact that this clipped these trees and dropped straight down. Now I've got to try to play I'm going to throw like a putter hyzer kind of low and get it to skip around this big bushy tree here and see if I can't get it up close to the basket and make a par. I've got my most overstable putter here. This is an Entropy. It's one of the first discs I bought when I started playing, and I still throw it. I still love it. And this is a pretty good backhand for me. I get it to skip up relatively close, and I just have however far I have here. This is a 14-foot putt for par that I managed to convert. The 11th is a 216-foot par 3 that just doglegs right at the basket, basically. So you want this to fly pretty straight, or you can do what I'm about to do, which is throw this up and left and then let it hyzer back toward the basket with a fairly stable disc, and it works out really nicely. So you may have noticed I don't always throw the same disc on each hole, and I do that for a couple reasons. For one, I'm always trying to experiment with my discs and see what they do and what they can do and what I can do with them. And for another, I'm always searching for the best disc to throw on a specific hole. And the final reason is it makes for interesting content. If I'm just throwing the same disc the same way over and over and over, that would get pretty boring, I imagine. So it's fun for me to try different discs and try to throw different shots, so that's why I try to do it. Yet another birdie. Playing so well today. Puts me to 3 under through 12. Not bad. I really don't have many birdie holes left. None that I would consider birdie holes. But if I can keep making pars, pretty happy with that. So this hole is tough because of the guardian trees. It's basically straight away, but you've got this row of guardian trees that you have to contend with on your drive. And then there's another tree after you throw your drive that you have to contend with. Okay, so not the best result from a decent drive. The basket is down kind of over to the right over here. I'm laying right there. So I have 252, by the way. So I really have to throw something pretty stable, and I have to decide if I'm going to go to the left of this tree or to the right of this tree. If I go to the left of this tree, I really have to stable up to get anywhere near the basket tunnel. If I go right of that, I have to go pretty straight for a longer time and then start stabling up to get down the tunnel. So I think I'm going to go with option B. I think I'm going to go to the right of that tree, try to keep it relatively straight, and then stable up as it gets close to the tunnel. From 252 feet, I have my favorite disc here. I call this Trusty, or the Trusty Trespass. Just trying to get this to fly really straight just to the right of that tree, and I early release it and I throw it up a little more than I wanted, and ends up catching some trees on the right. And I drop down here. So I've got my entropy out again. I'm just trying to throw basically a stable forehand shot to get it up down the tunnel toward the basket. I actually throw a pretty good shot there, and I just have this little 20-footer for par, which is no gimme for me, but I have been working on my putting, and I managed to make this one. The 13th out here at Searight's 249 uphill off the tee. It's a little shallow dogleg right, and there's some trees and bushes you have to avoid on the left, and I don't do a real good job of avoiding those. I don't hit them, but I'm not in great position after this throw.
Well, not my best work, if I'm being honest, right there. Not a great throw. Kind of put me out of position, so I'm basically playing for par now. But that's what you have to do when you get out of position. Play for par. Don't make worse than par or bogey. Double bogeys are so hard to recover from. You just can't afford to make them. Okay, so yeah, I'm in trouble. I've got this bush and this tree in my way. The basket is right behind those. My disc is laying, right there. So I have a little alley over there. I could probably throw something pretty stable with a forehand and get it around it, but just playing for par, like I said.
After looking at this for a little bit, I could have gone forehand, but it was kind of a tight gap to put my disc through. Doing this patent pending actually opened it up a little bit for me. So I just go patent pending here and throw. It's about 100 feet to the basket, and actually not a bad throw. I put it up there to about 20 feet again, giving myself these longish putts for pars, but I keep making them today, so it's not all bad. Alright, so the 14th is 267 feet. It's a pretty sharp dogleg left. I've got a disc I no longer throw. This is a Polaris, but I actually throw a really good backhand here. You must throw a backhand as a righty on this hole. There's no line for a forehand. And I throw a pretty good shot right there. I end up, what am I, about 78 feet away. I've got my putter out. I'm just trying to lay this up close. Kind of not quite a jump putt, but I put it up there to easy drop-in range for par.
So I'm 1 under on the back, 3 over on the day, playing really well. I'm making a lot of pars. Just have the 1 bogey on a missed putt. I feel good. I'm throwing a lot of good shots. I'm getting out of trouble, making my up and downs, making putts. So yeah, I feel really good about this round. So I'm not going to take a long moment of peace here. Let's do 8 seconds of peace. Hey guys, make sure you remember to like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. So I'm definitely going to try something different here today. Most of the time what I try to do is hit this gap right here with something relatively unstable, let it slide to the left and then come back right. Today I think I'm going to try to go up here with something fairly stable, like neutral stability, maybe a little more stable than neutral, and throw it a little higher and throw it a little harder and see if I can't get it to kind of fly out there a ways and then stable back up and come into the basket. The basket sits right down here. As you can see, it all plays downhill. So I'm going to try something different here. There's no wind really to speak of, so let's see how it works.
I have to admit I wasn't super confident in trying this throw when I was contemplating it, but like I said, there's no wind blowing right now, so I'm going to throw this out there, and I actually pull this off. I'm pretty happy with this throw.
That shit may have worked. That shouldn't have worked, but I think it may have. I don't think I got necessarily near the basket. I think I'm better off going on a straighter route toward this basket with something like I normally do, but now I know if I have to do what I just did, I can do it. Like if I've got a, you know, a strong right to left wind or something like that, I can pull that off and put myself in play and take an easy par, which I expect this to be.
Okay, so the 16th hole, 255, little par 3. Basically, just trying to find there's a little field or gap or whatever you want to call it that lies just beyond these trees that are directly in front of me, and you're just trying to find that. I don't know how you would ever get to this basket unless you had some incredible power.
I picked up a little lift on that one that I think is going to end up helping me out. Pretty sure I'm in good shape on that throw. That was a really good throw with a pretty stable disc. Yep, I can actually see my disc now. I'm in really good shape. Happy with that. This is not a birdie hole, the 16th out here at Searight. So really just trying to put myself anywhere in this little field out here and make a par.
I ended up in a pretty good spot here. I've got, it's only, probably about 60, 70 feet. The problem is I've got trees in my way and stuff, so I'm trying an unusual shot with my entropy here. Just going to throw this up and let it kind of spike down on the basket. And it actually worked out. You may have noticed on the last hole the wind has started coming up now, so now this hole is more or less playing into whatever wind is blowing. I've got a very unstable mid-range that I'm throwing here, and I don't throw it great. I kind of get it up in the air. It does ante on me a little bit and then comes and spikes back into the fairway, but I probably could have thrown a better throw if I'd have kept that a little lower. So I end up with this 41-foot putt for birdie. Not really thinking I'm going to make this. Like I said, whatever wind is blowing into me at this point, making this putt really hard. So really, I'm just playing for par here. I kind of lay this up so I don't get in too much trouble, and I'm just taking a par. All right, so I'm on the 18th tee here. It's a 300-foot dogleg right. I've got Trusty out here, the old trespass, and I throw a pretty good shot here. It ends up getting a little stable on me toward the end, but I'm in no trouble. I end up just off the fairway right.
Well, guys, it's been a lot of fun. I'm 3 under. I don't see myself making a bogey on this last hole, so that's a really good score for me around Searight. I'm pretty happy with that. Make sure you like and subscribe. It really helps me out. And even if you don't like, consider subscribing, because that, helps me out. Hey guys, I'm Todd. This is No Pictures on the Scorecard. Come back again soon. I'll be here.
I ended up like 75 feet away or so. It's just a standard upshot here. I can't really run this. I've got trees overhanging the basket, so I don't have the space above the basket to try to bring this in high. And if I throw it hard on a line and miss the basket, I'm going to end up making a bogey or worse. So I'm just laying this up, taking my par, taking my 3 under, and feeling pretty good about that. This was a really good round, and it was fun, a lot of fun.